like how Mickey just
pulls his arm
off
off.
a very enthusiastic handshake.
Dislocates his shoulder.
And we're not helping Mickey. We are doing all the work for Mickey.
Yeah.
He is a lazy. I see why he became king now.
Yep. Makes perfect sense.
Every time
actually.
there's a panic situation, he just runs off.
Yeah, and relies on other people to do the heavy lifting for him.
Yep.
I have a question. What were we talking about?
Norman
Silent
Reedus.
Hill. Oh my God! So the guy who is in charge of Silent Hill is the guy who did Metal Gear Solid games.
Yes.
He is my favorite.
Yeah, he's crazy.
And Metal Gear Solid is like we're going to be the best game of all time, I think.
Yeah.
It's going to be close. And it's going to be in the discussion, seriously.
Nice.
Which, Chris, reminds me.
Light.
Can I interrupt your cutscene, or do you want to watch this cutscene?
No, that's fine.
We should do another best games ever list, like in the somewhat near future. I think.
Yeah, I don't know if it needs to be a whole month worth, but
A whole what?
I don't know if it needs to be a whole month worth, but we should definitely like update it.
Yeah. I agree. Because first of all, Michelle wasn't in on the first one. I don't think.
No.
You could do 25 games.
Definitely.
Okay. We invite Michelle. We don't invite Gary.
Right.
Because he threw our list off big
So
time.
Star Fox out of the top 25 already, 100%.
Yeah. Along with a lot of other stuff. Michaela can, I think, provide us a much more comprehensive list than she did the first. Her list was good, but this one would be better. Then we have Michelle. My list has changed. I'm sure yours is one that comes off the top of my head is Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword would not be in our top 25.
You wouldn't have anywhere near the top 25 anymore.
I
So
wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
what? Did you play it?
I watched Jake play it.
Yeah, but you watched someone who can't play it play
Right.
it. That must have been amazingly frustrating.
I just thought it was really boring.
It's like trying to watch someone without hands do a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
True. It was very much
You're like, come
not
on, just
fun.
do that!
I just thought it was like... I love Zelda games, but this it was just maybe because I wasn't in control, but it just felt so redundant. I was
No,
like,
without
oh
the
my God.
controls, it's a lot of revisiting old places. It's Fee talking constantly about percentage chances of things happening. It's just,
Yeah.
I think I'm in the minority that I still really like the game, and it still has.
No, you're not. A lot of people loved it. It had great ratings, didn't it?
it's a pretty dichotomous game. There's a
Yeah,
lot of people who
that's-
either love or hate it.
Yeah.
Polarizing for sure.
Yeah.
I still fall into the camp where I really liked it because it has some of my favorite puzzles in the series.
That's
The dungeons are great. I love Zelda and Link's interaction. I like the origin story. A lot of the getting in between stuff is.
Yeah.
I also liked.
Boss fights are good.
Well, this is kind of part of the dungeon, but I liked how the area leading up to a dungeon is kind of part of the dungeon now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool to me.
It's not
I
the
like
first
that.
time they'd done that, but it was the best way they'd done it.
Yeah.
I didn't like that in Twilight Princess. We had to collect the light
Oh,
shard
I didn't like
things.
that at all, no.
Okay, I wasn't paying attention to what I'm supposed to do. I've done all 4 doors. What did it say? Help me.
Oh, God.
Oh no.
If you think I was paying attention.
All right, I'm going to go wander off.
Michaela, we need your expertise. Come here. I'm beckoning her, people on the radio.
Right.
Michaela is the resident Kingdom Hearts expert. We just did all 4 doors in the past world. Where do we go now?
Quick route.
We did all, like you have the
The
4
curtain
curtains and you
things.
go in and each one's like its own mini game. Where do we go now?
You're useless to us. Get out of
We found
here.
it. Thanks for nothing.
God.
Get out of
Bye,
here.
Michaela.
Pete fight. See, there's got a lot more junk in the trunk now.
Yeah.
Which helps him punch, though.
Yeah.
I do like this song. It's used a couple other places, but it's primarily here.
Isn't this? Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Oh, rude.
Didn't need to see that.
Sex room.
Offensive.
I just can't with that zipper.
Ah,
Oh.
It's just
I should have been ready.
Oh, damn.
Come back. Oh, it went to me for some reason.
well,
Okay, I have a question.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
I meant to bring this up for crowdfunding.
Ow.
I'm going to ask Michelle first because you're in the middle of a boss fight.
That's fine.
You start a crowdfunding thing. You have one thing to do. What is it?
What are you talking about?
Like you have one opportunity to do a crowdfunding thing in your life.
Oh,
Where you're actually going to get like people supporting it. What
Yeah.
do you choose?
it would be. I might do it anyway, depending. I want to. First, I need to finish my novel, Boot Hill, but I want to try and publish it in tandem with an art book from Hunter, so we could just kind of do them together,
Yeah.
make it more like a visual novel almost.
Okay.
But yeah, because that would never fly in the publishing world today. It just wouldn't.
What wouldn't?
a visual novel. It's just not what we do over here in the States. So at least not for adult novels. I would love for it to change or like to integrate like multimedia in novels and stuff like that. It's just not a thing right
So
now.
I can think of examples where it is happening, which makes me think maybe I'm not totally understanding what you want to do.
What's your example?
So, like, for example, Game of Thrones, they have, like, a visual thing that they release with in a lot of different ways. They have, like a history of Westeros book. They have actually, like, graphic novel type thing.
Well, of course, but that's not happening at the same time. The books were wildly popular, and then these came after and were republished and reprinted because of how popular it was. They were like, yeah, we have money to spend, money to burn on this franchise. Let's get everything out there that we can. The same thing happened with, like, Aragon and, like, Harry Potter. You know, it's like, of course they're going to make money. It's highly popular. But something like my book, no way. Like, they would never fly because it's expensive to print in color. Anything that's not just text, like,
what if you did what if you did one of those crappy, like, old-timey kind of books where, like, if the novel's 100 pages, the first 50 pages is book, and the last 50 pages is book, and then in the middle there's like pictures.
I hated those.
Yeah,
as a
me
kid.
too.
I would skip the images. I'm like, I don't care about this.
Yeah.
So
those were big in like the 80s and early 90s.
Yeah,
I never liked them.
Or you know what? I still see them in movie adaptation books.
Yeah.
Like,
here's some scenes from the movie.
Yeah.
Your favorite characters.
Yeah.
What they look like, so you don't get to choose in your head.
Exactly. I hate those. And I also hate when they redo the covers of books to match the characters from the movies. I'm like, nope, you've ruined it for me. Like, I hate that. Especially when it's way off, when it's like you're reading a description of the character and you look at the front and you're like, how?
The Road is a really good example. Like, I loved it was just black and it was like kind of a matte finish. It looked so good.
I know.
And then now the movie one, I don't even know what the movie one looks like. I'm like, no.
I know exactly what it looks like. And for what it's worth, I kind of had the exact same idea as what Viggo Mortensen and Cody Smith-McPhee look like. So I was actually okay with it, and I kind of just adopted it into my head. But I don't like being told what to think about because you get no description on what they look like at all.
I wonder. So Game of Thrones. So I read the books after I watch the show.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, in the books, Tyrion is like grotesque, like hideous. He's a dwarf who's hideous. In the book, you know, Peter Dinklage's a pretty good-looking guy.
He is.
Even though he's a dwarf. Yeah, or even though he gets a scar later on his face.
Yeah, it doesn't make him grotesque.
He's still pretty good-looking. Whereas in the book, he starts off grotesque, and then he gets his nose cut off in the book.
Oh.
So he's supposed to be hideous, but I still only imagine Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I kind of like that. Like, I don't
know.
know.
Think that in that way, it's actually switched. You kind of appreciate having that background, like the series.
It's kind of shallow of me to say because Brienne of Tarth is supposed to be pretty ugly, hideous in the book, whereas in the show they try to make her kind of rough looking.
Oh boy!
But she's a supermodel in real life.
Yeah.
So it's like they make her impressively like big. Some effect from the armor, kind of like how they made Gandalf look like gigantic compared to the hobbits. But I still picture her as I do in the show.
I mean, I kind of see. Well, maybe not. I was gonna say I kind of see why they chose to make Tyrion like not grotesque, because that's also kind of strange if you get like a little person to play the role and it's like they're automatically like delegated to grotesque.
Yeah, right.
So I get that, but that kind of upsets me about like in the books it's stated that this female character is like unattractive. Like, oh, by the way, it's a supermodel playing. That feels a little HBO to me.
Well, and what's interesting though is it paints a different picture of this world because in the book society is horrified by him as a child, and it's beyond him just being a dwarf. He looks like a mini Satan in the novel.
Whoa.
So there's more to why society's kind of scared of him. It's not okay, but there's more to that.
So in the series, it's more like they don't
because
get
he's small.
Little people.
Yeah,
that's interesting. That's a completely different reading.
It's a different take on it because of the decision they made. So,
but at the same time, I see why it was made because visually, I think they kind of had to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I still don't get why they chose a supermodel to play like an unattractive female. I don't get
everybody
it.
on HBO ends up getting naked.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
I like
that
this one
be
because the little Pete just ends up spinning endlessly. There he is down there. See him?
Oh my god.
He's just going nuts. That's why this is my favorite part of this fight. Look at him.
Please help me.
He's just having a day.
Please, God.
Oh, he knocked him over, though. He's doing work now, but as soon as this thing breaks, the scaffolding...
Doing?
Looks like
on
I
our
can kill him
team?
first. Yeah. He's helping us against other
Oh,
people.
that's cute.
So, like,
die
this
already.
is before he's corrupted,
There he goes again.
basically?
Oh, hold on. I want to look at him again. There he is. Look
No.
At him. There, I'll finish it now.
Boosh. You
Is that,
see him?
is that what's happening, Chris? This is
See him?
before Pete was corrupted?
Yeah. But even he was reminiscing in the scenes with Maleficent that we talked completely over about how he wished he could go back to the past.
Oh, okay.
And that's why that door appears, because, you know, I don't know, Kingdom Hearts and magic and I don't know.
Yes.
Magic.
I want Pete to be happy.
His hat is the cutest thing ever, and I want it.
Look, he didn't used to have 3 chins.
I know.
Oh.
Taking bets. Is Maleficent going to be a good guy or bad guy in part 3?
Chaotic neutral.
Huh.
Chaos.
That makes,
I like that.
That makes
That
sense,
is, yeah.
actually. I don't want
She's
to
going to pursue her own interests
But-
and
but-
probably intersect with Sora a couple times.
But it's interesting you went chaotic neutral and not chaotic evil.
I think she's past that now with
Yeah.
the scene that we're going to have in this.
Yeah.
It depends. There's going to be all sorts of nonsense for her. She got corrupted by the Heartless now, so she's pure evil. I don't know.
Hasn't she always been like...
I don't want them to go to the well with us fighting her again. I want her to be like on the side, maybe doing stuff that's important, but not like an adversary for Sora or whomever is the protagonist.
And I wonder if the new Maleficent movie will affect that.
Yeah, I was wondering
Where,
that too.
I haven't seen it, but isn't she at
Sympathetic,
worst...
super
At
sympathetic.
worst, chaotic neutral, and
Yeah.
if anything, she's probably a good guy.
Well, yeah.
I didn't see it, so I don't know.
It's-
but-
I'm pretty sure it's how she's portrayed.
I watched the CinemaSins thing, so I've seen like the general idea of what was sort of wrong with
I
it.
love CinemaSins.
She comes off as mostly sympathetic. It's a little contrived. It's a little forced, but for the most part, and I don't think if there's problems with that movie, Jolie's performance is not among them.
Right. I've heard she's great.
She looks the part. Like, my goodness.
It's weird to me that like a lot of people champion that movie for feminism. Because I'm not going to disagree with them. It's just weird going into a movie about Maleficent. I would not have thought that was going to be the big takeaway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and I think a lot of people who are like feminism also read really into that movie.
Yeah.
Like, they just dive right in, and I just feel like there's a lot more in
They
there.
also have been oppressed.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. And it's fine if you want to find your own meanings and whatever, but at the same time, it's like, was that intentional from a Disney film? Probably
I
not.
kind of want you to see Kingsman just so you can tell me
Yeah.
if that was overblown or if it is a good case for it, for
I know.
sexism in a movie.
I know. I'd probably say yes, but I don't have the context exactly to know.
Yeah.
So I would like to. I mean, Sean's explained it to me. If Chris was laughing at me for that.
No, I was laughing at
It
Donald.
probably just is sexism. No matter what you say, it's sexism. No.
I was laughing at Donald. I was ignoring you.
Okay, good.
But I always love the chance to laugh at sexism.
Yeah.